You just shipped a new build to your game. Players are online and having a great time. Everything looks good until it doesn't. Now, whether that's because of a crash, a performance issue, or some weird multiplayer bug, if something's going wrong inside of your game, your players are going to tell you about it. But with Sentry's Unreal Engine SDK, you can get notified of problems in your code before your users get a chance to tell you and get started fixing them faster. I thought I'd take it for a spin and show you how it works. Let's get into it. So to get started, we'll jump in and we'll download the newest version of the Unreal Engine SDK. We'll extract those files and drop them into the plugins directory inside of our game files. And once that's done, we can hop into the Unreal editor and drop into the plugin screen to make sure it installed okay. We'll search Sentry in here, and if we see it in the list, we know it's installed and we can start to bring it into our game's project files. We'll head into our project settings and scroll all the way down to the bottom where we can see Sentry. And in this screen, we can start to bring in the details from our Sentry project. Once we configure this screen, we'll be ready to start sending over crashes and error details into Sentry, and getting started really is that easy. So what does it look like when something does go wrong? Let's jump into Sentry and take a look. We can see our issues log here, and when we jump into these issues, we can see a full call stack of what's going on inside of our application. We can see things like the engine context, and even see breadcrumbs around how our issue happened so we can get it fixed. And over the past few months, we've been improving our Unreal support to make debugging even easier. Unreal's built-in crash reporter is now optional. Using the Unreal Engine SDK from Sentry, you can get things like errors and crashes sent automatically, along with things like breadcrumbs, crash events filtering, and release health monitoring. You can even get a screenshot of what the player was seeing right before the game crashed, so you can understand what they were experiencing. Sentry even tells you who wrote the code that caused the crash, so you can stop playing detective and get back to fixing the issue. We also added support for distributed tracing, making debugging multiplayer issues easier. So when you have a crash on a dedicated server somewhere, you can track that issue all the way back to the client-side issue. And because we support tracing, that also means you get performance insights, so you can see things like lag spikes or long asset load times and get down to the function, API, or code that's causing a slowdown and start optimizing performance before your users even notice. We're continuing to improve our support for the Unreal SDK. That means faster updates and more stability for you. Try out Sentry with Unreal Engine for free today, and check out this blog post to see how we built the Unreal Engine SDK using GitHub Actions. Take care.